Oh shit, what's good? It's your boy, Dirtbag Dan, aka Hot Hairstylist. Blogs every day, motherfucker. Blogs every day. Blogs every day. Today we're talking about comedy and hip hop, comparing them, similarities, my experiences doing both. I've been doing comedy for about 2 years now. I say it's, 2 years from the first time I got on stage and attempted to do stand-up comedy, which is different from hip-hop, because I would just say, like, I've been rapping since I was, 13, 14 years old. I don't, like, milestone it by, like, the first time I got on stage or the first time that I put out an album or anything like that. So, different in that regard right off the bat. Comedy has filled a very important void for me in my life, because when I, retired from battle rap, and I say retired because it's not a sport, you know what I mean? So it's weird to say that you retire from something that is entirely not physical. But I have no desire to do it right now, and I don't see myself doing it in the future, so I'm done. But what battling was for me as a rapper, it gave me an opportunity to kind of like operate independently. Like I could just book battles, write bars, go fly to wherever, deliver the battle, do the damn thing, book another one, so on and so forth. When I record music, I got to build with producer, engineer, other artist, shoot videos. Like it's not an individual effort, unless you make your own beats, and I don't. I never did. So for me, when I stopped battling, I actually knew that I was going to start doing stand-up, because it was something I wanted to do for a long time, but I just felt like I didn't have enough time, with everything else I was doing, to take it seriously enough. And I did feel like comedy's pretty scary in the sense that it's like truly just you up there on stage saying what the fuck ever. Like, I mean, battle rap is like that in a lot of ways too, and there are a lot of similarities, but the big difference is that there's really no kind of expected direction for an individual comic in any situation. Like, you show up to a show and you're on a showcase, like, they're not expecting you to talk about some specific shit or in a specific format. Like, in a battle, like, you're rapping and you're talking about the dude. And if you don't do one of those two things, I mean, you're gonna lose. Like, there's no way you can show up to a battle and not, battle your opponent and not rap and then somehow still win. But comedy, I mean, shit, like you don't have to do anything. You can do whatever. So in that sense, it's all on you. And those, like battle rap, a similarity is that when it goes silent, it's the most frightening thing. It's like, unless you intend for that pause to exist, like no reaction from the audience and no words from you, it's just you're living in this fucking silence, and that's terrifying. So I immediately wanted to show comedy the respect that it deserved. Like, I don't want to fucking stand on stage in front of a bunch of people and look like an asshole. Not that I'd never done that before, but I didn't want to start like that. So as soon as I finished, and I was waiting for a long time to do my last battle, and I was writing jokes in those times. I was building with my buddy Rory Campbell, who produces the podcast, and he was like the driving force behind getting me to do stand-up. And I did it one time and was like, oh, I fucking love this. Just like the first time I rapped on stage, or even like the first time I like got a good reaction in the cypher at a party. Those moments where you're like, oh fuck, this is what I was supposed to do. So that's a similarity for sure for me, is that it was definitely like right off the bat, it felt like right. And yeah, so I do feel that way. I feel like the kind of passion about doing comedy that I do about rapping, that I did about battle rapping, the like obligation or whatever, the responsibility to be good, and not just be half-assing it or whatever. So major differences when it comes to comedy. I feel like performance-wise, battle rap is one of the most stressful things that you could ever do. And any comedian who's ever done a roast battle, like, now just imagine that those rounds are, 3 minutes long, and there's no, it's not like joke. So a lot of memorizing material and then delivering it perfect one time. And then it's filmed and they throw it on the internet and everybody watches it. And there's a whole bunch of people there and they want somebody to lose. And then here's the major curveball. There's another dude in the ring who's gonna try and counteract all the shit you say and make you sound stupid. So that, like, those like layers of things added, I would say that performance-wise, outside of like physical art, like a ballet or something like that requires like years and years of expertise, I would say that battle rap is easily one of the most difficult things to execute perfect right, you know what I mean, and to do effectively on a larger scale. That being said, writing the material is so much easier when it's directed about a specific person. It's like they're giving you the topic. And even in comedy, when they give you the topic, it's like the angles in which you can approach that topic are so broad versus like battling, you know, and you're battling about some dude, there's kind of expected content. And anything that you do that's outside of the box gets bonus points, but you also like have to address those expected things. A lot of times comedy is there's no expectations, you know what I mean? So, and you got to write a joke out of thin air, pull one out of nothing that applies to a large ass group of people, you know, and that you could tell over and over again to different sets of people and they'll react to it, you know, the way you want, laugh, hopefully, you know. So in that regard, I would say that developing material for comedy is just worlds different and much harder than developing material for like a battle. And the same could be said for just like writing a song in general, but you're given a template, right? A lot of times. Or if you're building with a producer, you're working on a beat. And a lot of times, if the beat comes before the writing, the beat informs the writing. If the beat comes after the writing, the beat, you know, is catered to it. So there's like a relationship between the production and the beat that when you're in comedy, it's just you know? So there's no like template to start with. And that's what I think makes it just so daunting. It's like, fuck, I can get on stage and say whatever to these people. Which is like both freeing and terrifying, because it's like no one's telling you what to say, so you don't have any direction. Being able to tell a joke over and over and over again, I can't tell you how many battle bars I fucking flubbed, you know what I mean, and wished that I got another chance to tell, you know what I mean, that joke, or, you know, set up that punchline, or something happened that took away from it. With comedy, you have an opportunity to just rehash these jokes over and over again and really find the sweet spots and add tags and do all this stuff that is super. It's like as an artist, it's very gratifying to you building on something, you know what I mean? And in battling, it's like it's like Burning Man, you know what I mean? You're building these structures and then you're just fucking lighting them on fire on camera, and you're like, oh, it's fucking cool, it's awesome, and then it's done, and then come back next year and do it again. Comedy is like you're building a house, you know, like I'm gonna live in these jokes for a while, you know, at least a few years, you know. So I think that's another like big difference between the two. So much of what I learned doing battle rap and rapping and just like doing hella shows. I've done a lot of shows in my life, hundreds, you know, maybe close to 1,000 live performances of rap music. So I've definitely like stood on stage and talked to an audience like they're a person in the room, and I got really used to doing that. That's one of my strong suits, I would say, you know what I mean? Like where I lack in other departments, my rapport with the fans when I'm performing is part of what makes the show fun. And so that was a very transferable element, and I feel like that like moments where I had like been on tour and was just cracking jokes on stage with the audience as is were a big driving force behind me actually wanting to jump into comedy later, because I knew, I was like, yeah, I could do this. I feel like this is not worlds different from what I do already. Hip hop, when you look like this, battle rap, niche market, you know, I mean, hip hop is a niche market. It's the biggest kind of music in the world, and really like new artists every day open doors of what's acceptable. So I don't consider my music to be like super niche market. I feel like the more I make music, the broader the spectrum of people that can enjoy it is. But that's me, you know what I mean? Like being a judge of my own shit, which is never good. But I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. That's the thing about getting super high before you do these things. You're very honest, but then you fucking just lose your train of thought. I don't know. I think I was saying that when you're making music, it's like specific groups of people you're trying to hit, and comedy seems to be like the ceiling is much higher. You know what I'm saying? Like, of like what you could possibly do with it. You know, how many people it could reach. I think that when you know, right off the bat, when you're like battle rap or like rap in general, like there are some fools that just close the door. I don't like rap. I don't like battle what? Nah, that's cheesy. I don't like the name. I don't like how it sounds. Comedy is, I think, very widely appealing to all sorts of people. My mom comes out to these comedy shows with her friends from work, and they have fun. And I don't adjust my material. You know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, I'm doing jokes at Tourette's Without Regrets for a bunch of young kids, like a very diverse group of individuals. And it's the same jokes, and they're getting, you know, similar reactions. So I think that, like, the market is broader, the ceiling is higher, and that to me is, it makes me optimistic. Also, like, I'm 34 years old, just turned 34. And fools, when I go to LA, fools are always like super sketchy about their own age and shit, and they never say how old they are. Fucking who cares, man? Age is a fucking badge of honor where I'm from. You know what I mean? Like, I'm proud to be 34 years old and still a rapper. You know what I mean? Still fucking knuckleheading it up, but not like leaning on fools and looking like a scumbag in the process. So I feel like I could do comedy all the way. Graybeard Dan could be cracking jokes, and in fact, you know, when I do end up doing comedy with comedians that are in their 50s and even 60s, they often have such a, you know, they live longer. They have more experience, so jokes tend to be funnier even. I feel like rap music gets at a certain age, and this may change because rap is only 40 years young or whatever. But, you know, so maybe when fools are, you know, when Kendrick's in his 80s, he'll still be killing it or whatever, and that's tight. And maybe, like, if I get to still rap, and, you know, fools will be like, look at this old man killing it, you know what I mean? But for now, 34 is a very unappealing age to be an underground rapper. Battle rapper. But comedy, I'll tell that's what I'll be on planes with motherfuckers. They'll be like, "What do you do?" And they used to always just be like, "I'm a rapper." Have a weird conversation. Now I just be like, "I'm a comedian," and they're like, "Oh, cool." At best, they want me to tell a joke. You know, you don't want to. It's better to tell a joke on a plane than to rap on a plane. Is the moral of the story. And I've done both. No. I think that's it. Just shitting with y'all, you know? Just shitting. Blogs every day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you want to see me talk about next. I'm taking requests. Haven't done that in a few days. So I'll pick out of here, out of the comments below, I'll pick the next topic for tomorrow. So, cheer.